about 3 things that are key to any and all healthy relationships: trust, communication, and the one that people often leave out, accountability. Almost all people would agree that trust is the number one thing you need for any relationship to work. Even something as simple as an employee to employer type relationship. You think I go to work for free? Hell no. I trust that they are going to pay me on time for the hours that I have worked. So just like when we have friends, that building block, even if we're not paying any mind, that starts that friendship is trust. And over time, we build it up. So when it comes to our more intimate relationships, it becomes that much more important because we're spending more time with these people. We're investing more with these people. We decide that we want to spend our lives with these people. That trust is still that number one building block. And it goes as far as, obviously knowing that that person has your best interest at heart, that they're not going to cheat on you. But it also goes down to the small things, like knowing when you say, hey, honey, can you pick up the milk from the store? Knowing that they're going to do what they need to do to make sure they don't forget that, even if it means writing it down. Or even the little things either help build trust or break it down. That second thing, communication, is essential to you being able to maintain the trust you have in your relationship and build it. But without effective communication, you won't be doing yourself any good. See, effective communication means that the message you're sending out is actually being received. And in a healthy relationship, you use what you know about your partner to tailor your message in a way that they'll best be able to receive it. And in doing so, you not only save yourself the trouble oftentimes of having to repeat yourself multiple ways, but it also helps your partner in being able to understand where you're coming from sooner. And in many ways, or many times, you're able to avoid disagreements or arguments because you're already putting the effort in ahead of time to effectively communicate, as opposed to what a lot of people do. They just throw things out there into the air, just say what they say, and not account for how the other person may perceive it, and then they wonder why they're having misunderstandings. I encourage you to invoke an open door policy, an open communication policy within your relationship. That's gonna help keep you from having those nights where you go to sleep with something heavy on your chest, a concern that you had that you didn't share because you're fearful that it might blow up into something. Well, let me tell you this, just because you don't say it now, just because you don't bring it up now, doesn't make the issue go away. It's still there. It's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until it comes out. So you might as well share it. And if you get in the habit of voicing your concerns without judging one another, you get in the habit of doing that when you actually have a big problem, something that you two need to tackle together, something that might have came from outside your relationship that's attempting to break y'all apart. If you already have that open door policy, you're already used to communicating openly, it'll be that much easier for you to be able to either avoid or solve that problem together without attacking one another or being fearful of just you having a conversation about an issue blowing up into a big argument. Number 3 is a relationship killer. That accountability, man. People don't like taking it. They don't like being in a hot seat. Hey, I understand. It's a hot seat, but at the end of the day, it's part of being a mature adult. You gotta be able to own your own mess. You know what I mean? So in a relationship, you're going to run into many issues throughout, the years that you're with somebody if one or both people don't know how to do that. There's nothing wrong with having to apologize. There's nothing wrong with, making an honest mistake. But if you can't own up to that, you're putting all that on the other person. And that's not fair. Would you accept that? Hell no. So how could you expect that of the other person? I say this a lot. There's no such thing as relationship police. So oftentimes people, look really good and present themselves really well professionally. But when they come home, they just take that suit and tie off and just slack. They don't do anything to make themselves better. You should be looking to be the best version of yourself overall, not just in selective spaces. And if you get comfortable with having those in the mirror conversations, what could we have done better in that situation? How could we have avoided this? If you get better with looking at things from the perspective of this is on me, even when it's not, you will unlock, so many skills when it comes to problem solving the potential, is endless for where that can take you, because it's taking you to a place where many people are not. The difference between the people who are wildly successful and get a lot of that fulfillment is taking that accountability. So the question for you is, are you cool with being average, or do you want to be great?